Well, hello and welcome. I'm Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're in Season 6, Episode 282. The Miss Heard Song Lyric is, she thinks that happiness is a mouth that sits on her doorway. And then the correct lyrics is, she thinks that happiness is a mat that sits on her doorway. When you listen to it, again, it does not sound like mat. It sounds like mouth. And we're talking about Matchbox 20's song 3 a.m. All right, let's talk about it. So 3 a.m. stylized as, I see it both ways, 3 with a capital A and capital M or lowercase. And it's a single, actually their third single from their third track from their debut album called Yourself or Someone Like You back in 1996. Wow. Matchbox 20, also stylized different ways. Originally, it was just the 20, and now I see it everywhere with the 20 spelled out, Twenty. They're an American rock band formed in Orlando, Florida back in 1995. So wow, we're talking about 30 years now. That's crazy. The group consists of Rob Thomas, lead vocals, guitar and keyboards, Brian Yale, bass guitar, Paul Duchette, drums, rhythm guitar and backing vocals, and a Kyle Cook, lead guitar and vocals. They rose to international fame with their debut album, the one we're talking about today, Yourself or Someone Like You, back in 1996, and it was actually certified 12 times platinum, so diamond, in the US and multi-platinum in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Then their second album called Mad Season, released in 2000, charted in the top 3 on the Billboard 200 and was certified 4 times platinum in the US. Their third album, More Than You Think You Are, released in 2002, was certified 2 times platinum in the US. The band went on hiatus back in 2004, it's about 21 years ago, after rhythm guitarist Adam Gaynor's departure. And as a result, Paul Duchette took over rhythm guitar when the band reunited in 2007. They then released a compilation album called Exile on Mainstream, which was certified gold in the US. After the release, the band toured to support it. Then Matchbox 20 took another hiatus when Thomas resumed his solo career, but reunited in 2010. And then on September 4, 2012, the band released their 4th studio album, North, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Their 5th, Where the Light Goes, was released on May 26, 2023. So let's talk a little bit about Rob Thomas. So he was born Robert Kelly Thomas on February 14th. So he's a Valentine's Day baby in 1972. So this Valentine's Day, he will be 53. Still young. He's an American musician and is the lead vocalist for the Florida-based alt-rock Matchbox 20. Like I said, formed back in 1995, and with whom he released 5 studio albums. As a solo act, he did pretty good. Remember that? He was best known for his performance on Santana's 1999 single Smooth, which won 3 Grammy Awards, peaked the Billboard Hot 100, and in 2018 was named the second most successful song in the chart's history. And that was when lightning struck, because remember in 1999, what happened at that time, other than my first marriage? And that's another story in itself. Ricky Martin blew out of nowhere, and so the Latin explosion happened, and it came right at that same time, so the rest is history. Then in 2005, he had a single called Lonely No More. I love that song. It was his first to be released as a lead solo artist. It peaked at number 6 on the chart and led his debut album called Something to Be in 2005, which peaked atop the Billboard 200. As part of Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas had written and performed their string of commercially successful singles. We're talking about Push, 3 a.m., the song we're talking about today with the Misheard Song Lyric, Real World, Back to Good, Bent, If You're Gone, Mad Season, Disease, Unwell, Bright Lights, How Far We've Come, and She's So Mean. I didn't know, maybe you knew this, was Rob Thomas has also been credited as a songwriter for other artists, including, let me just list them, pretty big names, Willie Nelson, Mick Jagger, Mark Anthony, Pat Green, Taylor Hicks from whatever season of American Idol, Travis Tritt, and Chris Daughtry from also another American Idol alumni. And then in 2004, the Songwriters Hall of Fame gave Thomas its first Hal David Starlight Award, which recognizes young songwriters, as they should. And then I remember hearing about him married to a Latina or Hispanic gal. So the story was a mutual friend introduced him to a model by the name of Marisol Maldonado at an after party in Montreal, Canada in late 1997. And they both claim it was love at first sight. Thomas said, quote unquote, I knew the second I kissed her that I would never, ever kiss another person. That's amazing. As he was in the midst of his international tour, their courtship was via phone at that time, and Maldonado was at first reluctant to date Thomas, unsure she could handle being the wife of a rock star. I can only imagine all the baggage that comes with that. When Rob Thomas returned to the U.S., they went on their first date to a musical festival in Boston, and that night he told her he would marry her, and a month later he proposed. He's a man of his words. They were married on October 2nd, 1999, so good year for him. About almost 26 years married this October at manager Michael Lipman's ranch in California. Their wedding was broadcast, I guess, on ABC's Celebrity Weddings in Style, and they reside in Bedford, New York. So if you look it up on YouTube, you probably can find it. Thomas has a son, but not with Maldonado. It was from a previous relationship named Mason Thomas Eddie. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Eudy. And he was born on July 10th, 1998, also a musician. So there you know a little bit about Rob Thomas. So we're going to go back to the song 3 a.m. It was written by Rob Thomas, Jay Stanley, John Leslie Goff, and Brian Yale while performed together in the early 1990s band Tabitha's Secret. So before Matchbox 20. The song was first recorded by the band on its debut EP, Tabitha's Secret. The lyrics were inspired by Thomas as an adolescent having to live with a mother fighting to survive cancer. I mean, again, write what you know, right? In 1997, after the other members of Tabitha's Secret left to form Matchbox 20, Goff and Stanley released other early recordings of the band, including 3 a.m. on Don't Play With Matches. So, they all helped write it, so they have that option to do that. Have you seen the music video recently? It is almost 16 years old. It was, or actually 16 years old uploaded. The original upload was on October 26, 2009. So this October will hit 16 years. It's at a whopping 136.5 million views. And it definitely hits all the points for 90s. A lot of color, saturation. The song's music video was directed by Gavin Bowden and shot in LA and features the band sitting on side of the street next to some telephone booths. Then you see a supermarket. All right, so here we go. The video switches between color video clips and black and white still images. And then during the introduction and the third verse of the song, we see Rob Thomas walking in the middle of the street with some construction signs and lights. And this is where I get confused because I thought something was going to happen, something bad, but it doesn't. And during the third verse, a Pontiac Trans Am with a bare-chested man, Hispanic man, and a Hispanic woman inside stops in front of Thomas. The man gets out, apparently revealing on his chest he has a catheter, and then Thomas just hands him 3 cigarettes, and then he just gets back into the Trans Am. I thought they were going to fight at that moment. I don't know if you did, so check it out. Finally, during the last 2 choruses, the band is shown playing their instruments, we're assuming in some kind of hotel or office building, as rain can be seen falling down from a large window behind them. The video ends with an image of Thomas standing next to the telephone booth. So there must be something to be said about telephone booths. I'm assuming probably when he was, touring early and going through the fear of losing his mom to cancer. Maybe that's how they kept in touch. Who knows? But that's what the song is about, or a music video is about in my mind. And check it out, because like I said, 136.5 million views is not too shabby. And again, just to confirm, it's not mouth, it's Matt that sits on her doorway. But listen to it because you cannot unhear it. If you have great suggestions like this misheard song lyric, just send it to any of our sites like Instagram, Facebook, or aka Meta, or just send me an email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.